whispered promises straight to my heart. I'd never noticed, but you were never there, you were never there. Hey, you gave me roses.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to my channel. I'm Sunshinery. Make sure to subscribe and like this video.
But you were never there, you were never. I want us to be what we used to be this night.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. So today we are looking at Katie Maloney's new podcast with ex-Vanderpumper Dayna, which I was so happy to see Dayna do this with Katie. This is definitely going to be fun. The podcast is called Disrespectfully, and they actually do video footage. So I actually waited for the video footage to come out. So I do have episode 1 and episode 2. Right now we're going to look at episode 1, and I have 2 on deck for everybody. So I hope you all enjoyed this. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and also turn your notifications on to all afterwards so you get notified every time I post a video or go live. All right, let's get into Disrespectfully.
Disrespectfully, episode 1.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Dayna who's having a dry January.
Yeah,
Not today.
Don't tell anyone.
Not today. You know what?
If it's VUV, it doesn't count.
When people tell me that they're having a dry January, I'm just like, grow up.
You know what? My January is...
What are you doing over there?
What are you talking about? I'm an excellent champagne opener.
You're like massacring this. First of all, keep your finger over the top of that.
Do you want to do it?
Yeah. You're making me nervous.
No. I'm going to do it just because
6 twists.
What are you talking about?
It's 6 twists.
This is how I always do it. Watch. Ready?
Yeah.
You're going to see. And it's not going to come off. And it's going to be fine.
Okay.
I always take the cage off. Let me pour you a glass, sister.
All right.
But next time I'll let you open it. Also, should I do a holiday pour since I'm doing dry January? So I guess this is my cheat and I'm going to make it count.
The holiday pour, is that same as the at-home pour?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, wow. That's healthy.
That's healthy, right?
I like it.
Okay.
Picasso. Yeah, but I don't know where I learned that, but it's always 6 twists.
Probably your days at Sir.
Probably TikTok. Let's face it. TikTok University taught me. All right.
Everything. Cheers.
Disrespectfully.
Disrespectfully. Welcome to Disrespectfully
with Katie Maloney
and Dayna Kathan.
Unapologetically
We're here to do what we want to do.
spilling the tea.
Babe, you're going to see the power of women. Like,
Disrespectfully.
I mean, we'll just keep sipping. Yeah, I can expose myself for doing dry January and drinking on one day.
Once I'm going to stop.
That's the thing is like,
Maybe I should do dry.
I'd want people's takes on this. So with dry January, I think that it's more lenient. So like, if people get to the 15th and they drink something, they're like, well, I better throw the whole month away. But I'm like, you can still do mostly dry January.
I just feel like you should just do things in moderation.
Which is not one of my skill sets. So that's why I'm doing dry January. But your birthday is on the 16th.
Right. So there's another day you're going to drink.
And we have the Sir party on the 17th.
There's another day you're going to drink.
Or Vanderpump party. And then Ariana's on Broadway at the end of the month.
So looks
That's like 4 days.
Looks like
3
you're
days.
drinking this month.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I mean. That to me sounds like moderation. It just sounds like you're just not drinking just because.
Right. I mean, those are important dates. Every single one of them. So what am I going to do? Go to the Vanderpump Rules premiere party and be sober? That's crazy.
Dude.
Like big ups to people who don't drink and go to that. Because what?
So, first thoughts so far, it's laid back, they're relaxing, they're enjoying a drink as friends, and celebrating their first episode. And for me, like with this whole dry January, I'm not big at drinking regardless, but having to go to like an event like the Vanderpump Rules premiere party, yeah, I'd probably have a drink just to enjoy myself, but more for like the social interaction. You won't catch me going to an event without like a joint beforehand. So I kind of understand that. What do you guys think about it so far?
That would be a saw trap. You know, you want to do dry January where you have to go to a big event like that sober.
That's a saw trap. Okay, well, I feel like we should give context for that before we get into Disrespectfully. I just watched all 10 Saw movies in 1 week. And I had never seen them before, and I started having nightmares about Saw, but then I started thinking about Saw quite a bit. And I'm going to start doing this new thing on the dating apps where instead of being like, hey, Bobby, how are you? Like, I see that you went to a paint and sip. Like, how was that? I'm just going to say, what would your saw trap be? And it's more of a test of like who they are and how self-aware they are and like how creative or if they're easily afraid, which I don't want to deal with. So
Right.
what would your saw trap be?
Mine?
Mhm.
I don't know. You just asked me this, and I can't. Probably it might be because I definitely love drinking, so it'd probably have to be going to certain big events where normally I'd be very socially awkward or uncomfortable and have to go to them completely bone dry sober. That would be awful.
That would probably be mine too. And again, I know they say like that's when you should be evaluating drinking, but I'm like, I'm in my 30s. I'm having fun. We're just girls.
Listen, I periodically evaluate my drinking.
Same.
And I feel like I have a pretty healthy relationship with it. So I drink in moderation. Great for me. And
love that for you.
That's it.
But that would probably be mine too. So I would say that party particularly. No. So we've established I'm drinking.
Now, I stopped here quick because I'm a complete Saw lover. I've seen all the Saw movies. And when they're talking about like, well, I would take not drinking as my Saw trap, it's like, no, I think it would be like a reverse situation where they would probably have you belligerent at that party to see how you can handle it and put traps in the way to see how you would handle situations. I can't necessarily say what my Saw trap would be, though, like, I wouldn't want any of them to be anything that I would have to do. You have to pretty much risk your life to save your life, whether it's cutting off fingers or, you know, putting your head through a whole thing of blades to get out of a trap or jumping in a pit of needles to find something. Like, no, thank you. I wouldn't want to do any of those. And there's just a bit more creativity to it. So what would your Saw trap be? Let me know down below. I don't know if it's like a hard question to ask, but I'd like to hear what you guys have to say.
I'm drinking a few days this month. Anyway, welcome to Disrespectfully. What are we doing here?
No disrespect, but yeah. But just, yeah. Anyways, welcome to Disrespectfully. So, as promised, the long-awaited podcast, because about a year ago we left you off. We did a podcast on my old podcast, You're Gonna Love Me. R.I.P. But we've been teasing this for so long that Dayna and I were going to team up and give you something great, and here we are. So, Disrespectfully is essentially just being in your own truth 100% of the time and giving as less fucks as possible.
Well, I would say we've been edging them for quite some time. Like,
edging.
So when we left off on Katie's podcast, we really thought that things were going to get moving quicker. To be fair, like, we took a lot of time, but I'm really glad that we did. And I know that you are too, because we landed at the right place that really believes in the concept and loves women. And we were like, okay, this is where we need to be. So we're sorry that we were basically dry humping for a while, because I would like subtly like drop hints on stories and be like, oh my God, you guys, it's going to be out soon. And then it was like the narrator, it was not out soon. So we're so happy to be back. It's very much about being unapologetically you and not giving a shit and just having space in your life for where you are instead of trying to make it be something else that it isn't. And I'm so glad to be back.
Yeah. And more specifically, what you can expect here. Obviously, I'm single as fuck. Dayna single as fuck. Have been for some time now. So we want to talk all about that, what that's been like, the good, the bad, the ugly. Very
Lots
raw.
of ugly.
Lots of ugly.
Lots of raw, some raw dogging. Just kidding. We're all about safe sex here. Don't worry. Terry, don't listen.
Go on.
Yeah, I would say I've had some new wounds since we last spoke. I've had some lessons. So a lot to expand on.
As women, I think it's really great to embrace the single life and the singledom and whatever that looks like to you, whether it's really seeking out love or just wanting to hook up and being unapologetic about it. Because I think misogyny is still rampant, whether it's internalized or not. And we can be judged harshly for that. And so disrespectfully, we don't give a fuck.
No, we don't. And also, if you want a long-term partnership or like the classic traditional white picket fence, whatever, happy for you. Like, this
Whatever
is a
you
space
want.
for everyone and everything. Yeah. I think that I've learned a lot recently. I've seen some friends go through some really gnarly shit. And I think when everyone has this idea, like, look at, us in 98, Spice Girls are booming. We're having a great time. We're like, I'm going to be married by the time I'm 22, 1 kid by 23, 3 kids by 28. Like we just missed the mark on it. But some people still really went for that. And I think that happily ever after does not always mean happily ever after. You can obviously speak to that. So like, it's okay for it to end up transforming and being something different. But also like, I've never been married and I'm really good with that. Like,
I think this is a great podcast for Katie and both Dayna, because for as long as we've watched Vanderpump, Katie's been with Schwartz. She's never actually been really single on the show until recently when she got divorced. And for her, she's navigating a whole another ball game later on in life in her, mid 30s. And it's a lot different than when she was back in her 20s or even her, late teens per se, like 18, 19. But I think this is good that they can discuss this together. Dating is a lot different. I know that's something that I'm not very aware of since I've been in a committed relationship now for, my God, we're going on 8 years. But it's different. Like, I was watching something, it was Southern Charm actually, and they were like, what does even like dating mean? Like, do we go on a bunch of dates, or like, are you my boyfriend? Like, I don't think this generation understands what dating is. It's a lot different than dating when my parents were dating, or when my grandparents were dating, or even when I started dating Jake. Like, it's a lot different. So I think this is a healthy kind of thing for the both of them to navigate together with everybody as well that's trying to navigate it as well, or just trying to understand the world around them.
Like, a question I would ask you, which I would ask a lot of people to reflect on, are you happy in your life right now?
Definitely. I think I'm the happiest I've been. Of course, I mean, that's kind of speaking generally. I have days where I'm not as happy, obviously, but I think I'm actively making decisions on a daily that have happiness as my goal.
Totally.
Because that is the most important thing. We don't know how long we're going to be here. I'm here for a good time.
For a
possibly not a long time, but I hope so.
Really good time.
But I just think that why put myself through anything that isn't making me happy, that doesn't feel good. So that's kind of how I base my decisions.
Well, and I mean, as you should. And I think it was the great Megan Thee Stallion that said, bad bitches have bad days too.
Correct.
Put it on my fucking tombstone.
I love that.
So, I mean, I don't know. It's just, for me, I feel that way too. Like, I really am the happiest I've ever been. And even in times when I thought I was happy and I look back and I was like, oh, you were such a sad girl, like always looking for this thing. And I also unapologetically claim, like, I'm ready for my person. I would like to find love. That would be great.
Mm-hmm.
I know that we've talked, and I'm sure we'll get into it at some point in the podcast. I feel a little bit different about kids than I used to think that I felt. But just because of that, I used to make that my whole personality, that unless I found that person, then somehow there was something wrong with me or defective, where a lot of the reason that I'm single now is because I trim the fat. And I, like many people, men and women, could find relationships if they wanted to. And I know a lot of people that are in, I should call them Glade, because they're in plug-in relationships, okay? We don't want that. You don't want to be fucking Glade, okay? You want to be a Veluspa. You want to be a Diptyque. You want to be things of that nature. It's like, there's just so much more to life than just looking for that relationship. And like, I think we'll see as we start talking to more people, and like, we do want to hear from you on the podcast. It's not all that glimmers is gold.
Do you know what I want to be? I want to be one of my scent aromator things,
With the sticks.
No. You put the essential oils in and it kind of like vaporizes it into the air, because you know what? It lasts for a long time. It's not too much all at once. It lingers. It fills the whole room. Do you get the metaphor here?
Yes.
Taking up space.
Absolutely.
Smells nice. It
I
doesn't
wanna
go
be
too fast, too quick.
That's what she said.
Right?
I want to be the match that burns the house down. But then also, when I have a new house, I want to be that.
Okay. A little bit of that.
A little bit of that, I would say.
I'm just trying to experience the most of it all. Every day, I think it changes.
Yeah, I think it's ever evolving. But I think we're both just so happy to be back talking about all this bullshit. I mean, I think for us, we both talked about we'll occasionally have guests on and we'll see how the show develops, but we're just so excited to talk about whatever it is that we want to, whatever tickles our fancy that day. And hopefully it's something that tickles yours as well.
Oh, yeah.
Wherever you are.
Tickle, tickle. Yeah, I like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, disrespectfully, that's what it is. So I guess we can talk about like some life stuff, life updates. How's life been like for you? Are you single? Are you dating? Do you have a roster? What's it look like?
Life updates. So since we ended did your last episode, the end of 2022, good, the bad, the ugly. 2023 was a really tough year for me personally. I think a lot of us experienced some gnarly shit. So there were great highlights. You and I went on a Euro trip with our best friend Raleigh.
We'll be talking about that.
Oh, we will be talking about the Euro trip and the Euro trip roster. Joaquin said Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. We'll get into him, but the bouncer from that place.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm like, you are so wishing me every holiday. I'm gonna get Happy Easter next, but
Also the one and only time I've ever done a dating app.
Which was interesting because she just won't do it on US soil, but then all of a sudden we go international and she is out there. She is that girl. She is abandoning us to go on coffee dates with what was he? Was that in Spain?
It was in Barcelona, yeah.
Yeah, that hottie. So that was great. We had highlights. We traveled a lot. We got into shit. Dating wise, there's one person I don't even really want to talk about because I'm so like grossed out by him. But like the spectrum was someone who I think the very worst of it for me was a guy who told me he was in love with me in a matter of weeks, and he had a lot of issues. And the other end of it was someone that I was really, really into, that it started off, we were both on the same level. And then what happens a lot for me happened. And I will say, I did go into that with open eyes and like knew how he was and he knew how I was, but we liked each other a lot initially. And so we tried, and that just ended up blowing up in my face, which was amazing. And right around that time, my beloved Leo cat died. So it was not a lit time, I would say. But then got back on the horse. I would say currently today, I am dating. I am open. I am out there. I am meeting people at photo booths and bars. I am on dating apps. I am putting up with little to no bullshit because things are so good for me in every other aspect of my life. Like my friends are amazing. My family's amazing. I do whatever I want to do whenever I want to do it. So unless someone is adding a whole lot of value, bye-bye. So right now, there is a roster. I will say, and we'll get into it more, but they're all moving at a snail's pace to the point that like you and I talk about pen pals and how that can become so exhausting and not the vibe.
It's so not the vibe.
And I have some pen pals right now, and I'm going to need to write them a letter of cease and desist because I'm fucking over it.
I told you I have found a way to deal with the pen pal issue.
You did. I'm curious to see what other people would think about this method.
I know. We'll get to that.
Now, I know we didn't see a lot of Dayna's dating history on Vanderpump Rules. We only saw a very little bit from the time that she was on the show. But I think it's great that she's, dipping her feet into the pond, getting them wet, and seeing how the water feels. I'm glad she's learning from past relationships what are flags, what are, total no-goes, and what are goes. Because as it keeps going and progressing, it can only get better for her. I'm interested to see what Katie has to say. I know with the trailer for season 11, there was a love interest between Katie and Schwartz that was the same girl. And I can't wait to see how that plays out on season 11. So I'm interested to see just what her perspective and what her life update is as of right now.
Well, tell me your recap.
I think this past year, I really got to a point where I was feeling really good and safe and confident in my own damn self. The year before was definitely still working through the divorce, still feeling very much attached to Tom in certain ways and attached to that relationship. I was on a healing journey for sure. But in 2023, I was feeling more open and available to actually meeting someone and truly like catching feelings, which I did a couple times.
Yep, you sure did. You sure did.
And as that goes, when you catch feelings, you can get hurt. And I got hurt as well. But you know what? I think that's just par for the course. And I've just keep putting myself out there. I'm still very optimistic and still, wanting to keep going out and meeting people. I like to meet people through other people.
Totally.
Or like through mutuals, so I can, vet them a little bit, or, they can have some recommendations or referrals or, just to know that they're not a total creep. But yeah, because I don't do that, the apps. I don't know. It's just like weirds me out a little bit. I mean, Instagram, I definitely slide into some DMs and vice versa. There's that happens.
You are the Instagram queen. I'm jealous. I like want to learn your ways. You're so good about doing that.
I've done less of that. There's more of like the opposite way around. I don't know. Anyways, we can get into that.
The only people that slide in my DMs are men that look like they have been on To Catch a Predator that say, "Hey babe, do you want to let me be your sugar daddy? I'll pay you $7,000 a month, no obligation." I'm like, what scam is this?
No, that is also, literally every DM on TikTok is like, "Hey sweetie, are you looking for a sugar daddy?" What is the scam going on TikTok in the DMs?
I mean, at what point is one of us going to pull the trigger and just say yes? I thought about responding back to one of them and being I need to figure out a safe account that you can get money in, but there's no way that you can be harmed. And I'll be like, yeah, send me $7,000 right now and we'll see. Obviously they don't have it, but then maybe I could be up $7,000.
Yeah, but what are they trying to get at? I don't know. What is a scam? Well, I don't know. I'm never going to meet you, but like, you're just going to, I just, why is there so many?
It's, to me, it's the prelude to, hey, before I send you the $7,000, just send me 100 so I can wire, like something like that. Like,
but these accounts have no posts, no videos. It just feels like is it some kind of human trafficking thing? Like my brain goes to places that I don't like really intrusive thoughts.
I need to discuss this TikTok with you. I'm curious if you saw this because this relates.
Okay.
This is the most brilliant scam I've ever heard. And this is a woman, maybe know them, maybe raise them, maybe be them. This is, I don't know how someone was so smart to think of this. So this girl went on Twitter and she was like, "Hey, my friend, here's her picture, is looking for a sperm donor. This is what she looks like." Have you heard about this?
No, but like bold.
So she goes, the requirements are they have to be of the sperm donor, European descent, over 5'11", blah, blah, like naming all these features and characteristics. And she was like, the only thing is it has to be a manual process, no insemination, meaning they have to have sex.
Okay.
So all these people are like, this has to be a scam, blah, blah, blah. So then she posts another one and another one with more specificities. And one of the requirements was they had to do a 23andMe. So they're like, post this link and they're like, do the 23andMe. And
make sure they weren't related or something.
And they were like, DM me if you're interested and then do this link. Those were the requirements. So she showed like thousands of DMs being like, "Oh, I could do it. Like I have a wife and kids, but it's not going so well, blah, blah." Like people desperate. Just men are, I'm sorry, most of you are disgusting. Like we'll do anything to bust a nut. Like it's so crazy that they were so desperate. They see this picture and I'm like, did none of you watch Catfish? So here's the scam.
Okay.
Her link was basically like an influencer link. 23andMe pays $20 per referral.
Stop it.
So she had all these men. It didn't take any money from them directly, but they went to the site thinking they were signing up for this thing. Or maybe they had to pay for the 23andMe. I don't know. But regardless, she got $20 per person and it was thousands of people.
Oh my
and I am
God.
So fucking happy.
Brilliant.
For her. Tell me your thoughts.
I think that's brilliant.
It's not the best thing you've ever heard.
It's harmless. You're not hurting anyone.
No.
That's crazy.
Also, there's no free lunch, boys. Why are you so stupid? I don't know. I'm like, you're kind of asking for it.
I mean,
that's what I'm saying. Like that scam is probably
because you think about, okay, there's people that sell like underwear or like socks, like weird things like that, and they make a ton of money. And like what is that about? You know, I think I could never. I think like that's awesome for anyone that does that. Me personally, I don't know. That's so intimate. I wouldn't even give that to like a boyfriend or I don't know. I think that's so weird.
It is so weird,
weird.
But is my question about it is it safe? Like if they're doing it from a PO box or whatever, there's really no downside as far as like, could someone track you down by that? Or you
that's
know what I mean?
Like,
okay, let's take this out of it.
Is my DNA? Well, first of all, I've done 23andMe, so my DNA is like out there. But also, I've given like blood. I don't know, but like,
babe, they have requirements for the guys will be like, go to the gym in these.
Yeah.
Like there's certain things.
Like wear it around for like a day or like sweating it or.
And I'm like, I don't know what Tyra Banks ass like model you think is going to the gym. You should see me at the gym. I wear the grossest, oldest clothes. Like they're picturing the like Heidi Klum and like Giselle Bundchen. That's not how we look at the gym. You're looking at Instagram too much. So if you really want me to go to the gym in those, I'm worried for you. But ew.
I don't think they care.
The thing is, if it was totally safe and there was just profit to be made, would you do it?
Maybe, yeah. Why not? It's me having to do laundry.
You're so smart. I hate laundry. It's my least favorite chore too.
You know what I mean?
Why didn't I think of it?
I'm totally not down with people that scam other people. With that kind of a situation, though, I will say that girl's a little brilliant in the sense that she was pretty much using her influencer code to make money off of people. But yes, she was still scamming these guys, which maybe these guys are dumb ass guys. If you're thinking that you are going to get into some girl's pants and be a sperm donor, I mean, you're asking for it in that sense, but it's still a scam at the end of the day. And if one person can do it, then multiple other people will try and do it as well. I've learned that through my years just being here on YouTube. I do think, though, it would be even better if she shared these DMs now after the fact that, said, oh, well, things are going great with my wife, and I'd be happy to be a sperm donor. That would be interesting to see just how these guys think. A little more insight into their brains, though we know that most guys are sleazeballs. And I'm not saying that to be mean to you guys. There are some guys out there that aren't sleazeballs, but most of them are this fuckboy mentality. And it's very much a huge thing in the world nowadays, though it was a thing in my generation too. Seems like it's worse. What do you guys think? Let me know down below. Is it harder to date now that you're older, or is it easier because you know what you want, you know what you're looking for, and you know your red flags? What do you guys think?
I mean,
but then I would have to just buy a whole load of new underwear and wash those eventually. But I don't know, at least daily. I just, I would just go through I'm someone that has way too many pairs of underwear anyway. I gotta get rid of them.
I mean, for me, if it was totally safe, I feel like I would do it, because also I feel like older generations are so mad at younger people these days who, through TikTok, Instagram, other ways, they're all these millionaires heading to be billionaires, and they've made all this money really young in these creative ways, or sometimes vulgar, gross ways. And I'm good for them for getting their bag. I love it. I'm I wish I had thought of it. I wish I had thought of that scam with the 23andMe more than anything on planet Earth. That is so iconic.
I think it's brilliant. I think the easiest non whatever thing is selling pictures of your feet.
Okay, isn't that a scam? Isn't it? I heard that's a scam through the website. You paying for a membership to sell your feet, them brokering it.
Oh, I don't know. But you could also just do that through OnlyFans, or there's other ways you can sell it. You don't have to go on like Feet Finder or whatever. But
it seems like you spent some time on there, Katie. Do you care to expand on that?
We did that when Rachel wanted her nose revision done. We were we can help out. Listen, I know. What a time. But anyway, I think pictures of your feet, that's the least of it.
Have you ever seen your wiki feet?
Yeah.
I didn't know I had one, but I have one.
What is your?
I think mine was 7 point something. We can look it up. And I was offended by it because look, I have finger toes, but my feet are small, and I have a slight little I get why people would say that, but some people were fugly, but then some people were hot. So I don't know. But Wiki Feet, if anyone doesn't know, is a really creepy website in which people rate. If you've been in the public eye at all, they rate your feet. What?
My thing is my thing is always just the pictures that they randomly upload. I'm who?
Wait, are you looking at yours or mine? Should I look at mine?
I'm looking up yours right now, Dayna Kathan.
Oh my god, you guys, the recommendations on here are so funny. Feet, you guys, there's a feet of the day.
Am I the only one that didn't know about wikifeet.com? I didn't know this website existed. Don't get me wrong. I knew all about the websites that you could sell feet pics, all of that. Yes, because of Vanderpump Rules. But I heard it before that point too. But never did I ever hear of Wiki Feet. Yeah, these are the feet of the day, by the way. Let's see what they have to say about theirs.
You are Where does it show the rating?
Wait, also the photo they chose for you was so funny. You have beautiful feet.
Thanks.
You have I don't see a rating, but I just see
Where
stars.
does it show the rating?
It looks like 4 point. It looks like
you have 4 stars.
devastating. Yeah, yours is beautiful feet, and there's a little. So here's the categories: beautiful, nice, okay, bad, ugly.
Oh, it shows how many votes it was. You got 6 beautiful, 2 nice, 4 okay, only 1 ugly.
Oh, you got 1 ugly too. Okay, I'm feeling less bad. Anyway, it's so funny the photos they post. Anyway, point being, I would sell pretty much anything if it was safe.
Yeah, of course.
Like let's invest. Let's get our bag. Let's retire young. We have yachts to be on.
Anyway,
I'm not gonna lie. These are some interesting ratings, let alone photos that people sent in or they used for the site. I mean, there is an area too, by the way, ladies, that you can select your shoe size. You can go and edit it. And you can also edit like your birthplace or your birthday if they have it wrong. But I mean, the ratings, Katie got a really great rating. She is at 5 stars, beautiful feet, which is over there on the right-hand side where it says, 67 people voted beautiful, 34 voted nice, 8 okay, 2 bad, 1 ugly. I still can't believe this site exists, and I'm happy to see that one of her feet photos, though, is an actual full-on view of her feet. Maybe that's the one she sold on the Feet Finder. Ooh. I don't know. What do you guys think? Oh, and the other photo they used was from season 1 when she had to dress up as the angel for the gay pride parade. Oh my God. That's so iconic. And real quickly, I wanted to show you the other photos that were used for Katie as well. Which one of them is like my favorite photo. It's the one, her dressed up as a lifeguard saving Tom. I always loved that photo shoot that they did. Now, these are all the ones for Dayna. I think she has beautiful feet too. Of course, not as many votes here though. 6 beautiful, 2 nice, 4 okay, 0 bad, and 1 ugly. What do you guys think of this? Are you going to go rate? Let me know down below. I did rate. Don't worry. I gave them all 5 stars.
back to the update.
Back to the update.
So yeah, did a lot of that, a lot of dating, a lot of hurt feelings, a lot of that. Currently, I there's not like anyone I'm seeing. A lot of people I'm like pen paling with, sort of, kind of. I don't know. They've kind of like fallen to the wayside. I don't have a roster. I don't like it's just.
I feel like I have a pretty clear space, and I'm just open to whatever comes in. So tell us your method for getting rid of the pen pal. First of all, what is the pen pal to you?
Oh, pen paling is the worst. Pen pal is where you fall into just someone that you correspond with mainly through text message. And I think that usually happens because for me, because that person doesn't live in the city that, I reside in.
Mm-hmm.
So the main form of communication is through text. And then that becomes the main thing. You never meet up. You never plan to meet up. It's just constantly just text messages back and forth with no end in sight.
Mm-hmm.
No talk of like moving things forward. No talk about like feelings. It's just kind of like sending each other jokes and memes and talking. How's your day? Like just just constant like back and forth. It is exhausting because you're like, what are we doing? Because it feels like it's creating this like false sense of intimacy.
Well, and at some point
it's a trap.
And at some point it's like, do we ever want to see each other naked? Do you want to see if this goes anywhere? Like, I don't know what it's at some point for me, I need a little bit more moxie of just like, ask me out or don't. Like, I don't want to chit chat with you. I actually only really like texting consistently if I like someone. Like it's really easy to put me off if you're blowing me up and it's not leading anywhere. It's also kind of like a weird text message edging. Like, no, thank you.
I mean, if I'm seeing someone or I don't mind how often or not often we text, because I'm seeing them. There's actual like FaceTime that's happening. But just to like begin a thing with somebody and it's just mainly through text. And it sucks because it's like, yeah, I do meet people that don't live in the same city. So I want to be able to communicate with them. But when it's only that and there's no phone calls, there's no FaceTime, it's just we're texting.
Yeah.
Get me out of here.
Right.
So I came with an idea.
Tell us.
Because, sometimes, because also you don't really ever oh, well, most of the time, sometimes you don't get into anything like too serious over text because you can't read tone. That's the other thing is you don't often know like what that, what was behind that, the emotion that's behind it. So you want to make it kind of funny and also, but still like put the ball in their court in terms of like what they want to do. But you want to like effectively end that type of communication and that communication only. So we all get like those automated text messages from like subscriptions or companies or things that we bought or whatever it may be.
Politicians.
Yeah, literally. But just anything. And it'll say like, oh,
blank needs your help now more than ever.
Yeah. Okay. So what you do is you'll say your name, time and attention, : It appears that your pen pal subscription has expired. At this time, there are no renewal options available. If you'd like to upgrade to the intentional conversation package, we are happy to extend that option to you. Thank you for your understanding. Hope you enjoyed the pen pal experience. Asterisk, terms and conditions may apply.
Now, my question is, have you sent it to anyone?
Not yet.
When are you going to? Because I have to know how this goes.
When the time
the next
arises,
pen pal happens.
The next pen
I
pal.
think that's, first of all, so well written. Are you fucking Jane Austen? Like, what is happening? Second of all, I think it's kind of like the saw trap litmus test. Like, the real test is in how they react to it. So I'm so curious to see what someone would say.
Because it kind of says it all right there. Like, listen,
right.
Like we've been doing this and that the expiration date, like at the time is now ended. So the terms and conditions are that like, we're going to like make a plan here.
Right.
And we're going to start talking about like what this is, because like I've given you my time, attention, energy, and I'm done doing it unless this is like a thing, because clearly like either you're bored or there's genuine interest. And if there's genuine interest, then step up.
Right.
I will say I do agree. When you are texting someone, they don't understand the context because you cannot hear the tone. You can interpret a text message very many different ways. And that is something I love to do with what we call emotional readings. That's a whole long thing, but I love to like just take like say a Reddit post and read it in a form that I think the person is typing it. And it's just freaking hilarious. I'll have to do it here on my channel with you guys. But I also think that this pen pal subscription text, I think that is like perfect. And I do agree with Dayna. It's a way to be like, listen, your time has expired. What are we doing here? Are we going to take it to the next step? Are we going to hang out? Are we going to meet? Or what? Because if not, I don't have time for this. And I think that is a great thing. And I cannot wait to see or hear about when she actually does send a text like that. That is like perfect. Like she said, Jane Austen, what are you doing? She wrote that beautifully.
That's my whole point about it is it does grind you down when it's just a whole lot of nothing.
The amount of my time that people have wasted is offensive.
Oh my God. The most precious commodity there is too.
Right.
Yeah. But also I've let people waste a lot of my time and it's just not happening anymore these days.
Well, because you want to be patient. You want to like give things time and room to breathe and like let the like natural like progression sort of thing like happen. You don't want to be like, I don't like to force the rush things either. So I try to always like check in and be like, okay, am I like just getting ahead of myself? No, of course I want to like let those things go where they need to go when they need to get there. But it gets to a point where you're just like, bro, my guy, like, what are we doing here?
Shit or get off the pot.
For real. Like, I like, not that I have tons of other options, but like, I'd rather just not be thinking about you or what this is and spend that time thinking about literally anything else.
Right. Well, and I kind of liken that to, it's another TikTok I saw. By the way, dear audience, if you don't have TikTok, please get on it because we're going to be talking about a lot of fucking TikToks. That's my entire personality. Where a girl, whenever someone annoys her or she gets ghosted or whatever, she changes their name in their phone to a tombstone. So then all of a sudden the bottom of her contacts is a bunch of tombstones and she deletes the thread. So when they text her eventually, it's just a tombstone and she doesn't know who it is. And so she has an automated message she sends back and she's like, dear blah, 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 please let me know you have been placed in the resurrection, blah, blah, blah. Like if you believe you deserve this is by error or you deserve another chance, plead your case. And then she'll sometimes resurrect them and sometimes keep them there. And I think it's so delicious.
The graveyard, so I don't know Like, which number is it?
Oh, I'm about to put y'all on some game. So I did this. I started this in my phone. Anytime a motherfucker would fuck up or I could not, they went into the contact graveyard. Basically, I changed their contact name to the skull emoji, and then they all go down to the bottom of the list, and they're all there together. But because I'm such a forgiving fucking person, and I give second chances because you have the ability to take accountability and apologize for what you did and change your behavior. It's how people grow and learn and shit. I created this thing that I can send them if they ever were to text me, because I don't know who they are. But if they texted me, I needed something to say. So this is my contact graveyard message reply to send them once they get into the graveyard. Screenshot it, whatever. I don't care. Here we go. Hello. Unfortunately, you were placed in the phone book graveyard. Hi. Welcome to the phone number graveyard. We are sorry to inform you that you have been moved to the graveyard because you did something to hurt or wrong the person you were trying to reach. You chose to put yourself there by your actions. Your contact information has been changed to skull, or you can put the grave one. It doesn't matter. And the person you were trying to reach, unfortunately, has no idea who you are. Fortunately, there is a chance of resurrection. If you choose to go with that option, you must choose at least 2 of the below options. 1. Actually be alive. 2. Apologize for the wrong you did in a sincere and meaningful way and mean it with changed behavior. Actions speak louder than words, because they can say sorry all day long, but unless they change their behavior, it don't matter. If you have no idea how you ended up here, asking can benefit you, but that would require the person to know who you are, so either know or don't. We hope you enjoy your time here. There are no accommodations for your stay, so either do what needs to be done to live here or live here forever. Have a great day. The phone number graveyard. Also, there is a typo right there. I need to fix that. Let me just tell you, it works, okay? Because I got a message one day, and I sent that message, just sent it real quick, and I had a reply, an apology, and guess what? Him's changing his behaviors. I also had someone else message me, and I sent it to him, and they hearted it, because, you know, they didn't do anything wrong, right? No, you did, but you can't take accountability for it, so it is what it is. But do this, ladies, do this, because I swear to God, there's magic in it. Because you tell a motherfucker, you can't talk to me unless you tell me you're sorry and you figure out what the fuck you did wrong. They either gonna figure it out or they're not. They're either gonna apologize for it or they're not. And if they not doing any of that, you see what kind of person they are. It's 2023, ladies. Play these men back.
And I think similar to this, if you don't want this person to step up, rather than extending an upgrade package, you just basically say, like, it appears that your pen pal subscription has expired. We're not able to offer any renewals or upgrades at this time. You will no longer be able to send or receive text messages to this number. Have a nice life. There's that option. Bye-bye.
I love that option.
So, like, no need to reply. Doesn't warrant any kind of response. I think it's kind of funny because it's like you're not sitting there like crying about it. You're showing that, like, listen, I realized that this wasn't that deep or that serious, but also, like, I'm interested in going there with you. I don't know.
Well, okay, so this is new strategy. It's 2023.
Yeah.
2024, excuse me. See, it's a new year, so I'm not even used to saying it. But another thing that we were talking about that we were seeing all over social media is your ins for 2024 and your outs.
Love it.
So
yes.
I'm going to get us more champagne and I want you to tell me your ins and I'll tell you my ins.
Okay.
What's in?
My ins are hickeys.
I almost put that.
Love bite.
Okay.
Badge of honor, right?
Yep.
Just no way around that conversation.
Sometimes they're unexpected.
Well, there typically are. I mean, even if you know that somebody's going to town on your neck, like, you're always a little surprised.
Yeah.
Out the results the next day.
Mm-hmm.
Talking on the phone.
Love.
To your friends. And I'm bad at this, but like I love when I like just call up one of my friends and we like are on the phone for like, I don't know, 20 minutes or like an hour. I love just like talking on the phone. And especially when it comes to like dating. Enough of the texting. Call up. Or FaceTime even. I don't care. Well, maybe
I hate FaceTime. I only FaceTime with my niece, but I love talking on the phone.
I scheduled like FaceTime, like, hey, can you FaceTime later? Great. But just calling on the phone, I think is so great because I don't know. I think texts are just like the snail mail conversation. It's just, I don't know.
Is there anything scarier than a random FaceTime? Like with someone you're dating or like liking or something and they just FaceTime you out of the blue?
Yeah, because
That's
sometimes
when you're the most scary you've ever looked.
Well, yeah, because I look like a bridge troll, and I'm like, no. I got to put some rouge on and then call you back.
I'm like, have you ever seen Gremlins? You know the Gremlin King? That's what you're about to be fucking FaceTiming with. So beware.
Like this, but like FaceTime does not have the Paris filter. Like we can't just be like raw dogging this.
Careful,
way.
that's $1 million idea for us. We need to invest in creating that. But yes, go on. Calls, yes.
Okay, quitting. Anything that doesn't make you happy. Bye.
Yes.
Your job, your relationship, your vape. Not drinking because that's just not realistic.
It's not realistic. I mean, I was telling Katie this earlier. I have had a problem with vaping on and off for years. I've quit on and off for years. I'm back on my bullshit. It's day 3 and it's miserable. And me and Raleigh at midnight sunk my vape into a glass of water. So hoping it's like some witchy effect. We'll see.
You'll be
Talk
back.
to you guys next week.
She'll be back.
She always says that. And honestly, I want to
be back.
fucking prove Katie wrong because she always says that. But
I wanted to stop here real quick. So Katie's ins for me is totally, I love the one about talking on the phone. Whether it's my friends or my family, I agree with Katie. I just love getting to catch up and chatting with someone and just having that time with them. It's totally needed. Hickeys, not for me, though I have enjoyed them. I just think personally and professionally, I can't be going in with hickeys all over my neck. Now, I do love the quitting portion. Anything that doesn't make me happy, good fucking bye. I love that one. And I can also say, Dayna, I struggle with vaping too. I can say I have overcome the hurdle from cigarettes to vaping only, and that was a hurdle for sure, but I got there. And I also had to quit for a few months in 2023, and it was the worst time of my life. I mean, I was sick and I was not able to breathe, so it wasn't by choice. But even in those months, I couldn't vape. I held onto that thing like it was a security blanket, that I needed to know where it was or have it by me, even though I couldn't hit it. So I do know that is something that I will have to take into consideration for sure, but you can do it, Dayna. I know you got this, girl.
possibly right. So we'll see.
Okay.
We'll see.
I'm not judging. Whatever you want to do, like do it. But yeah, I just think things that don't serve you, that don't make you happy, that don't feel good, stop it.
Yeah.
Literally, you could be so much happier just not doing the things that
you
don't want to do. And don't fear the judgment in that either. Just
No.
because you've been doing something for a long time or said you're going to do something, you don't have anything to prove.
Well, another TikTok I saw said at one point every single person on Mount Everest was a very motivated person. Maybe chill the fuck out.
Yeah, that's true.
Show me the lies. So it's like people in this culture of like do more, blah, blah, blah. I think more of us are like, we want to do less and have fuller lives. And there's literally nothing wrong with that. So what isn't serving you? Bye.
Bye-bye.
Quit.
In authenticity.
Yes.
I love that. Just live the most authentic life possible. Who cares? Trends can be fun. We all love to like hop on a trend because it's just like, it's funny, it's buzzy, it's whatever. But like also just like doing what is the most you thing ever. You coded.
Yep.
You coded, I think is what that should be the actual in.
It's so funny to me when people, and I fell prey to this when I was a middle schooler, where it's like not liking popular things doesn't make you cool or different. So in the same way that people are just so desperate to be like, I'm above it or whatever, be authentic in whatever you are. Let your freak flag fly. Like that is, let's start. Everyone needs to be doing that.
Regardless of what it is, if it's trendy, but you love it, cool.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
If it's authentic to you, regardless,
right.
Own it.
Yeah.
I like it. And then there's a sixth one, but you'll understand the out. But I love this so much. I love Drew Barrymore. I think she needs to be like just the queen this year. With her talk show, I eat that up so much. My dream would just be to sit there and hold her hand and spill all my life, everything to her.
Well, when you go on her show one day or we're there promoting Disrespectfully, it sounds like you guys might spoon because I think she's really into that.
Did you see that video with Caleb, the guy that does the house tours?
Yes.
And they spooned on that like cushion?
Yeah, I was obsessed.
I want to spoon with her.
She's also a woman who's been through so much and
So
so much in her life. Like Remember when she posted that video of her dancing in the rain and everyone was like, this is weird, whatever. And I'm like,
no,
this
that's
bitch
magic.
has been through, she really shouldn't be here. And so if she wants to dance in the rain, you could tell, speaking of authentic.
She's been working since she was 3. Let her dance.
She's an authentic, embodies authenticity too. Like she does not give a shit. And you could tell she was just so happy. And like, also so many of her movies are in my top like 20. I just,
Ever After.
I was about to say, I saw a custom Ever After gown on TikTok this morning and thought of you with the wings and all.
50 First Dates. I mean, she truly is just magic. And I think she needs to just be elevated a little bit more. Not that she hasn't been, but it's just like a little bit more.
Yeah.
A little more heavy on the Drew Barrymore this year, please.
Never Been Kissed, that problematic hot fire bed, but I fucking love that movie. It's literally insane, but.
Now, when they were talking about Caleb Simpson, if you do not know who he is the guy, I know he's on YouTube and he's on TikTok, that goes around and asks you, how much do you pay for rent? And can I see your place in New York City? I know he's gone to other cities and done this too. I am obsessed with his shorts. I watch it a lot on YouTube. I will link him down below so you guys can check him out. But let's take a look at Caleb and Drew Barrymore.
Today I'm with Drew Barrymore, and she's gonna rank my apartment. Whoa, okay, Drew just fell through my deck. Is it okay if I cuddle you right now?
I was gonna say, can we spoon? Okay. I get to see you taking us through everyone else's home. I wondered, what does it look like where you live?
Excited to show you, we're about to find out.
Oh my God, I'm so excited. Oh. It feels good in here.
Yeah, it's actually homey.
Oh my God, you have outdoor, you got bamboo!
We got bamboo trees, yeah.
You have bamboo blinds, you've got a whole bamboo theme going on.
Huh?
You have the trendy couch.
Also, you know what else we have? We have a cuddle cushion.
Do you cuddle?
Yeah, you wanna jump on it?
Yeah,
Hold
sure.
on, but there's one thing I gotta do first. I gotta turn the fireplace on.
Oh.
Set the vibes.
Caleb.
How is it?
It's so good. It's so...
Is it okay if I cuddle you right now?
I was gonna say, can we spoon?
Okay.
Oh God, this does feel nice.
Pull down the projector right there, and then we watch a movie.
Oh, you know, that is the cute boy hipster way of like showing off to women. I'm not kidding, it's all about projectors now. That's what all the cute boys are doing, so you fit right in.
Yeah, well, it was my roommate's decision, so.
Is he a cute young hipster?
No, I live with a married couple, if you believe that.
You do?
Yeah, I do. It's like a movie script inside of here sometimes.
When they fight, do you like want to leave the room, or are you fascinated?
They actually don't fight that much. They have a good like sense of communication, I think, which is really special to witness sometimes, you know?
That makes me breathe easy because couples fighting upsets me so much, and I can't even watch shows where couples fight. Like, it hurts my heart.
Really?
Just want peace and harmony. So much I won't even, like, I don't date because I'm like, I can't handle the risk of drama.
So you're not dating anyone right now?
No, but I too have 2 roommates.
You have 2 roommates?
And they're my daughters, Olive and Frankie, who are 9 and 11. And living in a 3-girl dynamic is so cool because all our clothes get mixed up. We have to live on top of each other. It's like the most beautiful journey of any.
Okay, do your ins.
Okay, my ins are bed rot.
Oh,
We don't talk about this enough, okay?
I love a bed rot.
When I'm scrolling through, every 20th thing is like, get out of bed, you awful lazy bitch. And I'm like, honestly, it's good for me. I get what they're saying, whatever. Nothing on planet Earth makes me happier than being in bed with the blinds drawn on a Sunday afternoon when other people are out jogging or doing whatever.
A Wednesday.
Oh, whatever.
When everyone else is out in the streets and you're just like in bed.
You've
like,
only gotten up to feed. You get back in bed with your animal of choice. You typically have like a Diet Coke and a water or an orange juice, and you're just
Wine.
my favorite thing to do, DND, do not disturb. I do not bed rot where anyone can get a hold of me. I don't want to speak to anyone. I am a gremlin. The only person I'm speaking to is my cat, and that's
because
that.
the worst thing is like if somebody's like, hey, so like what are you, and you're like, I don't even want to have to like lie about what I'm doing because I'm not, but like I'd rather just not see the message come through.
I'm offline. I don't want to talk to you.
Exactly.
Well, I'm online. I'm on TikTok, obviously, or Instagram, or editing videos, but I am not available to anyone. I'm like sometimes I'll be also speaking on phone calls. So, but you know, me and Brittany, my sister, we talk several times a day on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
She's obviously going to listen to this, so I'm exposing myself, but I'll be like, okay, like I have to do this and this. And it's because I want to go back on Do Not Disturb and be done with the conversation. I'm like, I've had enough today. I'm stimulated. So
I like
bed
bed
rot.
rot light, where you just like bed rot to
yeah,
like noon, and then you are productive.
yeah. There's all the time in the world. And also, you said earlier, we're here for a short time. Spend that time how you want it. Sometimes we're gallivanting in Europe. Sometimes we're out at the bars. Sometimes we're not speaking to anyone, in our bed, doing nothing. And that's okay.
Mhm.
It's okay if you feel like you need it. So do that.
I love it.
Daily SPF.
Oh, more, yes.
So important. I wasn't as good in California because before I lived in California. But even if no matter where you're listening to this from, put your SPF on. There's also really good like $12 ones that you can get at Target or whatever. It doesn't have to be expensive. Just daily SPF. I know you're such a proponent.
And on your hands too.
On your hands. I will never forget. I don't want to say what housewife it is, but I remember she had her like hand next to her face in an interview and someone screenshotted it. And they were like, it's that line from Scarface when he's like, the eyes, Chico, they never lie. They're like, the hands, Chico, they never lie, because her hand didn't match her face. So
yeah, they will age.
I always think of that. And I always do gel manicures, and those little machines, they're bad for you.
Babe, it's all about the press-ons.
I got to get some quickies.
Yeah. Okay, do your...
So I agree with these ins as well. I want to go back to one that Katie mentioned, authentic. I always think you need to be your authentic self no matter what. And that's something I strive for here on my channel. Now, some of Dayna's ins, the bed rot, though I love it, the thought of it is wonderful, I just don't get enough of it. But that's life. And my favorite bed rot is when it's snowing outside and you can have that homemade hot cocoa with a nice face mask. Oh, yum. SPF, yes. I need to get into the habit of this. And it is something that with age I've learned. I'm also half Italian, half Irish. So the freckles, man, I had a little bit before. They came out. So SPF is a must. I'm getting into microblading and all of that good stuff. And we'll definitely be talking about that too. But yes, I agree. SPF for everybody. Let's see what else.
Positive self-talk. Still working on this. This is something I always say I'm going to change. I'm a big proponent of it. I believe in it. I know how beneficial it is, but it's so crazy the way that I only say things I mean. So when I'm like, you know how I am with our friends, like I will gas you up, but I won't say it if I don't mean it. It's not fake. But the way that I like see everyone in such a clear light, and then all of a sudden I'll walk by a mirror and be like, who is that fucking monster? And it's like,
no,
ma'am, knock it off. And it's the imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
It's physically how you look. It's how you feel, comparing yourself financially, other people. Like it's a million things, but positive self-talk is something I really, really want to work on.
Just get like very delusional about yourself.
Also that.
I love it. I'm a little maybe too delusional, but
I would say,
I think I'm like God's gift.
my sixth one that I'm going to add Delulu onto this. Be Delulu. That goes with positive self-talk. I know that you're passionate about this one as well. Chain restaurants.
Oh,
another TikTok I saw, that girl who rolled up to the Cheesecake Factory, which is arguably one of our favorite shared spaces, you and I.
Yes.
And was like, I look too good, whatever. And I'm like, you think you're too good for the Cheesecake Factory? Have you ever had their rolls?
The brown bread.
You ever had the brown bread?
I
would sprint. I would lose the date in the lobby because I would be sprinting to my table. So I don't know. I just think in general, chain restaurants are in, and Olive Garden is. When I'm there, I'm family.
It's your love language.
Yeah, it is.
When you're there, you are family.
I spend a lot of time at Olive Garden.
Nothing is going to come between you and that Alfredo.
Also, I guess we should start like plugging this. Like Olive Garden, sponsor us. We're looking for sponsors right now. So
Remind
Cheesecake
me to
Factory,
give you your hat.
Olive Garden. Yes,
it's in my car. Okay.
She has an Olive Garden hat for me. And then my last one, which is a little bit about what we were talking about earlier, is living the life you want to live instead of living the life you think you should live.
Law of assumption.
Mm-hmm.
Assuming you're already living that life.
Yep.
That's how I survived. 2022, 2020. Yeah.
And here we are.
Positive self-talk, always a great thing. It is something I need to do more of myself. The chain restaurants, I don't really quite understand that one. I get that I know Dayna is sponsored by the Olive Garden, but Katie's trying to open up a non-chain restaurant, and have it be something that people want to go to. So I would think that would be a little different for Katie, though this is Dayna's ins. And living the life you want to live, not living the life you wish you should. I love that. And I think I am adding that to my ins list for sure this year. Now, time for the outs.
Here we are.
Tell me your outs.
Okay, my outs. Drum roll. Just kidding.
I already think we have one of the same outs based on what you said, but go ahead.
Oh, okay. Waiting for someone to make the first move.
Love.
Be bold.
Yep.
Be confident.
Mm-hmm.
And just, I don't know, if the moment hits. Also, I mean, I don't know what your thoughts are on like first date, hooking up. You don't have to go all the way, but just like, you know, some people are like, I don't kiss, I don't do anything on the first date.
I am a proponent of, the only reason I used to say like, I typically, and I know you're saying this is broad, all kinds of hooking up, not just sex, but I typically don't have sex or hook up on the first date, not because I'm above it, because it muddies the water for me and my feelings about like if I actually like someone. Like, so if you have really great sex or you hook up and it's amazing, I might think I like them more than I do, or if it's worse, whatever. So for me, it's kind of a case by case basis. I used to make such declarative statements, and I'm actually going to add this to my out right now. I used to make declarative statements of like, I'm not going to do this, I'll never do this, blah, blah, blah. And half the time it never ends up being correct. So I'm also just trying to do less declarative statements and more see how it goes.
I say, yeah, whatever feels right.
Whatever
Just
feels
do
right.
it. Okay, well, we already talked about this. The texting endlessly and pen paling for weeks with no end. Like I fell into that trap way too many times this last year, and I'm effectively not doing that at all. Like I'm going to become a bad texter. Yeah, essentially.
Yeah, most of them are. So,
well, I mean, no, but I'm just like not going to. I'm just going to be like, hey, sorry, I didn't get back to you. I'm just going to be a bad texter. Just like, call me if you want to talk.
Right.
The grind. I don't like that. I don't like the people who are like, here's how I woke up at 5 and then I got sunlight. It's like, yes, we all know those things are good, but like pushing that on somebody who like wants to just do what feels good for them,
right,
more on a daily than being committed to like this grinding away for like what?
For nothing. I mean, it's like that episode of Sex and the City when Carrie was like, are there other women in New York that are just here to make us feel bad about ourselves? Like, no.
Yeah.
I'm glad for you that you like your green juice at 5 a.m. Go cry on the treadmill. I want to sleep and get up at whatever time I want to get up at and do whatever I want to do and bed rot sometimes.
But similar to like the thing with like quitting, being more in, don't feel like you got to grind away. People pleasing.
Bye. No, thank you.
Be more comfortable with the fact that like people aren't going to like you.
You aren't for everyone.
And you aren't for everyone. And that's totally okay. Like I embrace that actually. Yeah. Like when somebody doesn't like me, I'm like, great.
Some people who don't like
problem
me,
solved.
Some people who don't like me, I'm like thrilled. I'm like, that tells me a lot that I'm doing things right. If that person liked me, I'd be a little sus, a little weirded out, need to take some time to reflect.
Well, 100%. Requirements are in, expectations are out.
Love.
Now we're just requiring things.
Right.
Expectations are out. People are going to disappoint. So you can't expect anything from anyone.
Yep.
Expectations are out. And then the final one that's out is Matt Rife.
Oh, he's on my list. He's number
okay.
2 on my list. I knew it. It's almost like we're friends or something.
Okay, Katie's out. Waiting for someone to make the first move. I think Katie is going to be big and bold this year, and I cannot wait to see it either on Vanderpump Rules season 11. Oh my God, it is almost here. The grind. Now, hey, some of us are on the grind, and some of us wish we could just be laying in bed all day. Being on the grind isn't always a bad thing, though I will say seeing people throwing it in your face, their grinds can be disheartening and a little distasteful, though I believe it's meant to be more motivational and you can reflect on what maybe you can improve. So it's all based on how you feel about life that day. People pleasing. I agree. Bye. I've been so done with people pleasing, though I will say There are just some people in my life I enjoy pleasing, like my boyfriend. But I am done taking shit from anyone and just not expressing my thoughts and opinions or feelings like they are trying to push me under a rock or something. And mainly, I've just been pushed so far. People have taken my kindness for weakness, and I'm done with people just attacking me for no other reason than I'm a creator and they just don't like me or what I have to say, which are other topics I would love to talk more about, which if you are a member here on my channel, we will definitely be getting into that, along with benefits like getting this video before everybody else. Now, requirements are in and expectations are out. Love that out. I love it. Definitely need to imply that to my life as well. And Katie's last one, I don't really understand and literally had to go back and listen and be like, who? What? Matt Wright. What's that about? If you know, let me know down below, but let's hope Dayna can maybe elaborate on this a little bit more for us, though I don't think she does.
Let me do my outs. Obviously, we have some in common. So I'm going to put Matt Rife as number 5, although I had him as number 2. So pressuring yourself to be productive goes along with everything we were saying. If you need to bed rot, if you need to relax, let yourself do that. Internalize misogyny. It is the amount of TikToks I see of the Pearls of the world. Do you know who that is on TikTok? She is just such a nasty, like, pick me who is basically like you're designed to be, we're secondary to men and whatever. It's just so gross. So
I'm so happy I don't know who this person
yeah,
is.
you're lucky. So internalized misogyny in general, it's just like so crazy how much we are our own enemy. And I'd love to see less of that in 2024. I'm speeding through because I'm so excited to talk about Matt Wright.
Ew.
Doing the bare minimum in relationships out. And I mean that more so, it goes both ways, but the way that we are in a culture when it comes to dating, and we're going to get into this a lot on this show, of people doing the bare minimum. And mind you, there's all kinds of relationships, there's all kinds of dynamics, but I mean, a lot of times, I don't want to generalize, but it is men who, like, we have seen a lot of that, who come to the table, give crumbs and expect the world and are confused why we have reactions to that kind of behavior. So no more doing the bare minimum. If you do the bare minimum, you don't meet the requirements. You must be this tall to ride the ride. It's not happening.
Right.
Putting people that aren't your close friends on your close friends story.
Okay, but here's the thing. On the contrary, because I think about that, because there's some things I want to share, but I have a lot of followers, and I'm like, I don't want to. This can't be shared with like everybody. So if it's people that I don't necessarily know, but I'm like, okay, they're like, you know, they pass the, you know,
well, it's like
test.
Okay, close friends, you're like close enough, and then like people I'm talking about people you've had one conversation with. Sometimes it's like how we used to get trapped before you could remove yourself.
I put it as like
thread.
these people aren't going to judge. That's what they go in. Like this. It's basically like, if I follow you, you're most likely in the close friends. Not everybody, but like not everybody. No, trust me.
Yeah, because there are people that I follow that
if I'm interacting with you and I follow you, like I'll put you in there because it's like we interact and like you might enjoy this.
Well, and I'm like, and I know I operate differently because I feel like I literally have like 20 people on mine, but point being, it's very strange to me, and it's not like I'm saying I'm above it or I'm not flattered or whatever, but there are a lot of people that I see that I'm on theirs and I'm like, we've literally had one conversation.
Because they might be operating from the same place I am, where they don't want all of the people that follow them to see it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but that's on my out and I'm sticking to it.
Okay, that's fine, because I think I thought about this too, because I'm just like, well, I still want to be able to like post things that maybe are that other people might be like, what is this?
I love your close friends content.
Well,
content.
right.
Very funny.
And I think other people would, but not everybody. I'm not going to share that with everybody.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No.
Okay, before we get into who this guy is, let's go over some of Dayna's outs. And I am going to go out of order for good reason. Pressuring yourself to be productive, which really sometimes you have to pressure yourself to be productive. And this one might not be for me because sometimes I need a good kick in the ass to do something that will better my life or situation. doing the bare minimum in a relationship, which I agree is a great out, especially in their position where they are dating. And like she said, you can't give crumbs and expect the world. I also agree in relationships, you have to do more than the bare minimum, and it helps with your relationship, appreciating your partner. And if they keep giving you the bare minimum, then it's time to reevaluate this situationship. Putting people on your close friends' stories that aren't your close friends. For me, this isn't an issue, but for them, I could totally understand where Dayna was coming from. And there are just some people that don't need to see certain things, especially if they aren't your close friend and you don't want something out. I can totally see that. Now, for internalized misogyny, I had no clue who she was talking about, but I want to show you a taste of this girl. Her name is Just Pearly Things. So let's have a quick taste.
Natural order of the world is God, men, women, children. Women are supposed to submit to the authority of men. Women are supposed to be the weaker vessel. Why would you submit to the authority of someone that is not smarter than you? Yes. Men, by and large, are significantly smarter and more competent than women. We are not equal. We are not even close to the same. If a woman slept with more than between 3 to 5 partners, she only has a 25% chance of a happy marriage. Doing a business deal with a 25% chance of success you would never do. Yet, only 4% of women wait till they're married to have sex. So, knowing this information, knowing that body counts are through the roof, why on earth would you encourage men to sign up for that? And on top of that, a lot of these tradcon women also shame men for wanting to date younger women. They call them creepy. They call them weirdos for wanting to date younger women, when really it's just older women trying to compete. And the truth of the matter is that for most women over the age of 25, they're done. They will not have happy marriages. They will not be submissive wives, and they are too stuck in their ways. Really, the only solution I see is the next generation of women learning from the older generation of women and doing better and moving forward. But the way it is now, I don't see it as a viable option for men. I'm sorry, but good traditional men get punished in this society. It is absolutely a logical conclusion to come to not want to deal with women, because it's more hassle than it's worth.
Matt Rife. Okay, let's talk about it. So
I used to like Matt Rife a lot.
I had never like really talk about people in this way, but the way that this man has gotten under my skin, and I'm aware that he loves that and eats it up. Do you know who Brooke?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Is it Schofield?
I think that's how you say it.
Schofield. I'm sorry,
Schofield.
babe. I love you if I'm saying your name wrong. Saw her on TikTok. She's so cute. She has that podcast with Tana Mongeau, and her story about it, I was just like, every woman can relate to what she is saying. And the way that he went about this special, I am not offended easily at all. Like literally, especially if a comedian is actually funny, I'm good with it. If you make misogynistic jokes, whatever, I don't care. I can stomach pretty much all of it if it's funny. The thing is, it wasn't funny.
No,
like
it wasn't.
his DV joke at the beginning of the special,
It just wasn't funny.
it wasn't funny.
It was old.
It
It
didn't
was played.
It didn't land. It was like the way that he was appealing to this toxic crowd, and then also cannibalizing his audience, which was mostly women. And I'm like, babe, you're going to see the power of women. Like, you are an idiot. Eddie Murphy in Raw has a whole joke about it, but he makes it so the woman comes out on top and is stronger and whatever. This was just saying like, she can't cook, so she got her ass beat. And I'm like, are you okay? Then he doubles down when people are mad and posts a photo of a helmet needed for people with special
he's like,
education
for
or
everybody
something.
that's offended, click here. And it was a link to like a
Helmet where someone with
special needs
special
helmet.
needs. He's just gross. And the way I saw him grab Zendaya's face, which I had never seen him on a while now, I didn't realize I had seen him because he's unrecognizable. I've had a nose job. I get Botox. There's no shame in my game. But when you get a chin implant and probably pec implants and you abuse hair gel, and you then deny and just say like, all you do is talk about how hot you are.
He just claims he had a glow up.
Yeah, babe,
which I think everybody believed, because it's like, you know what? Yeah, people can like, especially men can have this like sort of maturing thing that happens in their 20s. It's not like the most far-fetched thing, but nah.
If you look at a photo of him smiling a while and out, I also have veneers. No shame,
veneers.
veneers.
That was,
veneers
okay,
are gorgeous.
I don't think he denied that, but like, yeah, but then I'm not saying that he definitely has had work done, but for a while he maintained that he was just had like a glow up, and you're like, okay, like I could see that, but the teeth and then everything else, I guess maybe, I don't know. I mean, like I definitely like had a hard on for him, I would say, because I thought he was like a funny guy and he was attractive, And his specials that he released before were just like generally like funny. Like I feel like he wasn't, you know, he was just had good content, you know, and his crowd work was good, and he wasn't alienating his audience up until now. Like way to like not know your audience and wanting to like bring in the boys. And I definitely slid into his DMs, but like whatever, that's neither here nor there. But one of our friends knew him since like he had moved to LA for like a long time, and so he had a personal relationship with him. So was it last season on Vanderpump Rules when Lala and I go on a double date? We had gone to Logan and said like, do like, you know, all of the boys here, like there's a lot of like attractive like guys that you can like set us up on blind dates with. Lala ended up going out with this guy that she had met at a party, but he's like, yes. So he had talked to Matt. This was like before Matt like blew up on TikTok or anything, and Matt like had agreed to go on this like date that was going to be filmed, and he was like all about it. And then last minute, I think he had like some kind of, I don't know, comedy thing pop up.
But he was excited.
He like, well, yeah, he was all about it. He was like, it's filmed, cool, great. You know, like he wanted to be famous. Let's face it, obviously. And I think the opportunity to be on a TV show or in whatever capacity was appealing to him. I don't think it had anything to do with me, whatever. But but I think just being on a show. And then I saw on some random like scrolling that I was doing, I don't know if it was TikTok or on Instagram, some kind of digital content that video he was doing, and someone had asked him like, who would you not want to be stuck on a deserted island with? And he thought for a second. He goes, oh, well, like pretty much like anyone from Vanderpump Rules. Like they're all terrible. I'm like, sir,
be so expeditiously fucking for real right now.
Yeah. Like I get like be more specific. We're all so terrible. Like all right.
It's like good for him until
and it was obviously during like the Scandoval of it all.
Right.
And so I think for him to like climb on that, but like we're all so terrible. Like you obviously don't know even know what you're talking about, and you've never like even seen the damn show, because you could have been more specific. But just to like claim that we're all so terrible.
I mean, it's just so funny to
me. But I saw that and I was like, oof. And then all of this happened. And his special came out, and then all the girls are coming out, and he's just being eaten alive. And it's just, you know,
a little moment.
Vindication is nice in these times.
You just gotta let karma work that shit out.
And it's, you know, what's funny is I was talking to Logan after I saw that. So this is pre-special, and I was just like, I think this boy is flying a little too close to the sun. I think he's just getting a little too cocky. I don't know. Like, I don't know. I was maybe a little butthurt about the comment, but I was just like, you know, it's a bummer to see this, because I thought he like was really promising and all that, but I just feel like I see things not going so good for him. And a month later, this happened. So
look, he's getting his views, he's getting his like I'm sure he's still eating it all up, but it felt like a moment of togetherness in the country I haven't felt in a long time. Like at the end of the year, we all held hands and we're like, this guy is such a penis wrinkle, and it feels really good to watch this happening.
Nothing brings people together like the hatred of a man. Right?
The power of women
that really unites us.
Matt Rife.
Well, I'm glad they explained who Matt Rife is. I understand now, that since I've Googled him and everything about the joke. I do not find DV funny. I don't find DV jokes funny as a DV victim myself. But I also can take a joke, and I can understand comedy. And what he was doing was not comedy. You can easily just type in TikTok Matt Rife, R-I-F-E, and it'll tell you all you need to know about him. And to think he was a potential suitor for Katie, oh my God, that's kind of funny. Which, I think this is a great time to bring this up now. Did you guys know, if you are a true Vanderpumper, you'll know this, but did you know that Dayna was actually featured in Vanderpump Rules before she actually joined the cast and started working at SUR? Do you guys remember that boys' staycation that they went on? And Peter was newly single, and he brought some girls back to the room, and then Bo and Jax went outside to call Stassi and Britt to let them know, hey, there's some girls in the room. Well, one of those girls in the room, who actually hooked up with Peter, was Dayna. And I knew this, but then when I like watched it was like, oh my God, I did not like realize it clicked. And I wanted to share that with you guys. I do have some photos that you are seeing from that episode, and I will leave the information so you can check it out yourself. It was very interesting to see. I even noticed that with when Kristen dated Alex from Below Deck. That was interesting to see him on Vanderpump and then later show up on Below Deck, which, you know, I love a good crossover. And if you can hear my cat purring, yes, she is being loved on by me and she's my baby. But what do you guys think? Let me know down below.
Really quickly though, the finale of, because I have some thoughts and I know you watched it, but the finale of Real Housewives of Salt Lake.
Yep.
What happened with Monica and that whole revelation and who, like, her identity, not her identity, but like her participation in this troll account is actually my worst nightmare. And I mean, the fact that she did infiltrate that way and wasn't totally honest and open and like, hey, like I participated in this whole account and I'm feeling guilty because you all have really taken me in. I want you to know before you find out in other ways. Like there's a way to go about it, but like the fact that she didn't, and then when they called her out and she was just doubled down on it, it was so gross and name calling and everything. It was just, that's my worst nightmare because I'm always very cautious of people when they come in to like our group or on the show because I don't know people and I don't know what their motives are and I can't trust them. I think there's nothing wrong with not trusting a stranger when they're coming into something that is a bit intimate and you're going to be sharing things that are, you know, personal. And it is, you know, it was appalling.
Well, first of all, it was appalling and very shocking. And like, I'm sure Heather was saying, looking back now, it looked like there were things that made sense to her that she didn't put together at the time. My question for you, do you think she stole the ring?
I don't know. I don't want to conflate like the fact that she's this shady person with that. I think the ring could very much have just been Law's.
I'm in that camp too. I'm saying it doesn't look good.
It doesn't look good. No, it doesn't look good. But also I don't want to say just because she's capable of very, very shady behavior that she's also like a thief.
I want to talk about Real Housewives of Salt Lake City and the 3-part finale with all of you guys. So there will be a live scheduled, so look for that very soon where we can talk about this whole troll account, how she infiltrated the group, how she pretended to be something she wasn't. I have a lot to say on that, and I want to hear what you guys have to say. So make sure you are subscribed to my channel so you can get that notification. But the whole ring thing, I don't want to say that she stole it too. It does look bad. And we do know that she did steal, I believe it was either a bag or sunglasses that she stole from Meredith's store that they cannot prove and she's denied. There's so much to it, but I'm kind of glad that Monica will not be back next season. What do you guys think about this? Let me know down below, and are you excited to talk about this on my live with me? Because I am. I cannot wait.
I also want to know your thoughts on how she said at the end, this whole account was to take down Jen Shah. So I feel like I need more context because I am behind. I did watch the finale, but when she said having an account where you're, you know, revealing information or whatever, they're telling the truth isn't bad, but what's bad is scamming old people out of their life savings. I'm curious your thoughts on that perspective.
You're not a hero. You're not a hero just because you revealed what Jen Shah was up to. There was FBI investigating her. Like you weren't doing the work about revealing this. What you were doing was being really creepy and stalking. Like don't confuse that behavior with being any kind of savior.
I think both are true. I think both are wrong. Obviously, ruining old people's lives and scamming them out of money, that's horrendous. That statement is accurate, but like you were not doing the work.
Right. And also that would have happened anyway.
Also, I don't think you were exposing her because you wanted to be a good person and you were like Robin Hood. I think that she had a long game, has been doing this for years, and she did want to infiltrate that circle. And I think she was really calculated about it and executed it well and got in. cannot believe she got exposed and found that out. And also whoever did the music for that episode was, masterclass in editing.
I love whenever it goes forward and then back and then forward and back.
Oh,
so like
yeah.
it was chef's kiss.
The drama on the beach. I'm like, is this an episode of Survivor? What the fuck? When she brings them all out and then they have this plan and then they go with basically these voodoo dolls. I'm like, what is happening?
I have like chills thinking about it. So
a masterclass.
Yeah. But anyways, just such a great finale. I need to watch the reunion next week because like where they ended it and she was like, I wanted to say more, but no one was going to listen. It could be a, big old nothing sandwich of just like the same, like, because in the realm of also like, taking accountability, but also blaming everyone outside of yourself is what it kind of like sounds like.
I will say that final episode of Salt Lake City is definitely one of the most dramatic yet intriguing scenes in a long time of Housewives, and they did it perfectly. They did. They peeled you into it. They made you want to continue to watch to see what was going to happen. It was done beautifully. And I agree with Katie. Monica is not a hero for what she was doing with this troll account. And both are not good. Yes, what Jen Shaw did was a lot worse on the scale, but trolling these girls and being a petty Betty and saying the things that you were saying was not being like the FBI and doing what the FBI was doing behind the scenes. And now I don't want to get too much into the reunion, so we'll talk about this later, but I definitely will be highlighting this part when we talk about it.
But I gotta watch it. But also on that same theme of accountability, but not actually taking it and blaming everyone outside yourself, I'd be remiss if I didn't also bring up the fact that Rachel's coming out with the podcast, and I'm not going to listen to it because I
would never give her my download.
My time is I have too much respect for my time and energy, but
I'm sure you've heard snippets on TikTok.
Well, I read stuff. It's impossible for not to come across my eyeballs. And whatever. I'm not going to knock her for like wanting to come out. She can do whatever she wants. I just think I still maintain that she should just come back to the show. If this is ultimately where she was going to end up, and I don't think she ended up here by accident. I think this was probably always her plan. She should have just come back to the damn show and been accountable there and told her side of the story or whatever she wanted to do there, to be honest. Whenever I keep reading things, it just seems like a lot of still wanting to position herself as a victim. I'm not really seeing that there's been a massive amount of growth in her quotes or like a lot of introspective, a lot of accountability to being taken. I think just saying her darkest days were, her consequences of her actions. Like, ma'am, when are you just going to be like, I royally fucked up, period, end of sentence. And here I'm going to explain exactly how and where I did, so that I understand.
Right.
Like that's taking full accountability, not blaming outside sources, trying to say you were manipulated, trying to say you weren't friends with this person, trying to say you didn't want to put yourself in front of them because it was going to hurt them. Ma'am, you actively made choices on a daily for months and months to hurt someone.
Oh, that really chaps my ass when she minimizes her friendship. I'm like,
yeah,
baby girl, we were all there. We all saw it. What are you talking about?
I think Katie nailed it with exactly what she meant when she said that Rachel should have just came back to the show and did what she's doing on the podcast there. It's not that she actually wanted her back. She said, if you're going to do this anyways, then why didn't you come back to the show? And I think a lot of media outlets are twisting her words to make it seem like something it wasn't. Same with Lala. But Katie nailed it. Everything that she said is exactly what I've been seeing with Rachel. I've not seen growth. I've not seen accountability. And that's all we are asking for. Dayna has a lot to say, and I can't wait for you guys to hear it. So let's listen.
Okay, I will say, and I've never said this publicly, but I want to take accountability for something I said. So we were at Coachella, things were fresh, and I made a comment at the time about she was going into a mental health facility. We had bad information. I'm not saying I have never gotten involved in online fodder or whatever, but I really don't. Like typically trolls, even if I don't like someone, I'll just like delete it or whatever. And I made a comment and was like, she was at a spa and whatever. I regret that. That was wrong, full stop. I shouldn't have said that. What I should have said is what's happening right now and commenting on that. That wasn't appropriate. I'm really glad that she got the help she needed. That's amazing. That was not for me to comment on. This shit, though, not cute. First of all, the entire Bethany interview was a mess.
Dumpster fire. Yeah.
The amount of lies that I saw her say blew me away. And I'm like, look, we understand what you're doing. You are coming out from the shadows. So she goes on Bethany's podcast, lies on top of lies on top of lies, rewriting history, completely minimizing her involvement, like you said. And I said this about Tom when we were on Nick's podcast. No real accountability. You were manipulated, blah, blah, blah. But like, you literally went to his house when Ariana was gone filming a movie weeks, maybe it was 2 months, maybe a month after everything broke. You went and stayed in this woman's home after you had already fucked him in her home several times, including when her grandma had just died and
After
Charlotte
you'd
had just
already been
died.
caught.
After you had been caught and you knew that there were paparazzi everywhere, particularly every time we went to their house for 5 months, 6 months, there was the same paparazzi guy sitting outside.
It was like 5.
There was 5. It was never not a thing. So you didn't feel that bad, obviously, at the time. Like, I guess when you lost everything, you saw the full consequences of your actions. But then you go on Bethany with this completely made up rendition of what happened. I hope that she's had growth. I'm not really seeing that as far as her public comments. It looks like what she has worked on is her crisis PR spin. And that's what she's been peddling. And I don't blame her for making a podcast. Obviously, we have a podcast. What I blame her for, though, is coming out with a podcast to tell your side of things. Like on her trailer, she was like, your side. There is no side. It doesn't matter. You are not a 12-year-old. You are almost a 30-year-old woman. You were looking Ariana in the eye and telling her, do you really want to be with him? You guys aren't having sex.
Are you attracted
Are
to
you
him?
attracted to him?
No, like you said, there's just, it's all complete like revisionist history of just like, well, the reason why this happened is because I still like wasn't over James and having Allie around. Like, no, ma'am, you like, I was right there the entire summer that we were filming. Like, you were like, I'm in my bad bitch fucking era. I don't give a fuck. And everyone was hyping you up. And you looked me in the eye and basically was like, fuck you, Katie. I don't give a fuck about your feelings. She's completely forgot about that whole aspect of her behavior. So there's no accountability being taken because she would have had to examine all of her behavior. And it's not about me. But like, again, like she moved in crazy, crazy ways. And so if you want people to believe that you've taken accountability, you got to come with all of it.
Right.
In my opinion, Dayna is absolutely right. We all knew what she was doing when she decided to do Bethany Frankel. I think it's stupid of her to be doing a podcast, though she has every right to do a podcast, but to then linger on the same situation that's been over and done with. And people have said, well, why aren't you guys moving on? Because Rachel hasn't moved on. She's continuing to talk about this. She's continuing to bring this up. She does not realize she's not a child. She needs to take accountability for her actions. Like Dayna said, she's almost 30 years old. She is putting the blame on everybody else but herself. And until I see some actual growth, I am sticking with what these girls are saying too. She is not changed, at least from what she showed us.
I think that, so in the reason I brought up the comments I had made online that I do regret, I have had to stop myself like 5 times this week on commenting on little snippets I've seen on TikTok when she was like, I can't do that to Ariana. I just remember how hard it was for me to film with Allie and blah, blah, blah. So wait, I'm super, super confused. So you can have sex with her boyfriend for 8 months, go to St. Louis with him for Christmas, literally lie, look her in the eye every day and lie to her when you see that she's in pain and like things are going on, but you can't put her through filming with you. The math ain't mathin'. So which one is it? So yeah, whatever it is, her podcast, good luck and Godspeed.
Also, I don't believe her about the Allie stuff. Like,
she was fine.
And I don't want to ever say like, because people can present themselves outwardly however they want. But again, like she literally didn't care because she was hooking up with Tom. She's like, I don't care what James is doing. Like, Allie's great, whatever.
I think that the lies are transparent for the most part. I think that it is really sad to see and super disrespectful to Ariana to this day to even speak on Ariana's name. Like, who the fuck do you think you are?
I think she should have done this months ago or just come back to the show. At this point, people are like, Mm.
Also, no offense, but the title, like, you are trying to like rebrand yourself and growth and learn. Rachel grows rogue. Yeah, we know you went rogue the second you had sex with Tom.
You've been rogue, girl.
You've been rogue. When were you not goes rogue? We shouldn't have gone Rachel gone rogue. Like past tense, baby. I know tenses are hard, but like, yeah, I don't know. It just doesn't work for me. And hard, no, thank you.
Disrespectfully, good luck.
Disrespectfully. That might be a good place to end our first episode.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, quick note.
What?
So we want you guys to send in any problems you're having. It can be about any topic, questions you have for us. If you're looking for advice, anything, we set up an email. So at disrespectfullypod@gmail.com.
Yeah, that's disrespectfullypod@gmail.com.
You can also find us at disrespectfullypod on TikTok and Instagram. But please send in any questions. We will continue fielding those. So probably at the bottom of each episode, we'll be going through them.
Yeah, we're ready to give you all of our sage advice. Listen, it's not going to be, it's just from like our own experience. So we're not experts. We're not licensed.
We sure are not.
But we are, of a certain age where we've had some experience in life.
Sure have.
So there's that. Anyways.
We'll see you guys next week.
We'll
we're so excited to be back.
Yay.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey, listen, I commented about the name of her podcast when I first heard it was Rachel Goes Rogue, because rogue means a dishonest and an unprincipled person. So to name your podcast Rachel Goes Rogue, I mean, it kind of fits since she's being dishonest, but it's not really a good fit if she's trying to be honest and get her story out there for the public. What do you guys think of this podcast? Is this something you want to listen to? Something you can't wait for our next episode? Let me know down below. We will definitely be checking out episode 2, and we'll see from there how it goes. I hope you all have a great night, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye, everyone.
Baby, just another fight, but you don't wanna see me cry. There is no way that it's never going there. I think it better, and I swear I'll follow you no matter where.